What's up? What's up?
I didn't realize we were live.
How we doing this wonderful Wednesday evening, everybody? You are in the right place at the right time for the right reasons, because it's about to be some fire tonight. Because I know we made it. Just let that marinate a minute. I still forgot to share.
You don't have to share. It's on your page.
I don't know.
I'm going to act like Raymond today. Woo! You're the one that does that every time.
Yeah, that's what they said to me. We just gonna let it. Come on. Here we go. We getting ready to get this thing started tonight, everybody.
Welcome.
As you come in, introduce yourself. Tell me where you're coming from. Do me a favor. Like and share it, because somebody absolutely needs some inspiration tonight. Somebody needs some fire tonight. Somebody needs some focus tonight. And somebody needs to know not to quit tonight, right? We can't quit on a bad day. So let me introduce myself. My name is Raymond Wright. I am the founder of Right Way Leadership Transformational Coaching. And I am your motivator. I always say it, right? But I can't get you to just motivate. That's gotta be a self thing. But I want to inspire you. But most importantly, I want to get you to get moving to transformational processes, which means that's the gap. We want to bridge the gap from where we are to where we want to go, so we can live the life that we've chosen, the life that we want to live. And we're going to give you some tools and some resources tonight in the Transformational Talk with Ray and Sarai on this beautiful brisk, well, it's brisk where I'm at, Wednesday night. So like, share this, introduce yourself, and let's get this show on the road. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I was going to fake it. Anyway, guys. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarai Namor, and I am a licensed mental health counselor in Florida. I am the founder of Circle of Champions Worldwide, where some of you might be watching from. And my passion is to help you transform into all of you. And for you to get back to closer to who you are and reconnect to yourself and all of that stuff. And we have, as I talk, he does the motions. Wait, he does the motions as I speak.
Did you say and all of that stuff?
And all of that stuff. Yeah, and all of that stuff.
So tonight is this is Transformational Talk with Ray and Sarai, and this is my night. So what we do, guys, is we alternate week to week, right? So on her weeks, it's very organized, it's very well put together. It's a step-by-step process. With me, you get what you get. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from the heart. I'm trying to shake you. I'm trying to rattle you. I'm even trying to piss you off a little bit, right? Because if I don't ruffle your feathers, if I don't get you going, then really, what is it worth? If I don't get you to think, if I don't stretch you, if I don't get you to be like, that guy is a jerk, but man, he made sense. That's all I really want you to do, because I'm really not a jerk. I truly do love each and every one of you. But look, 2020 is what it is. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. 2020 is what it is, right? If y'all are football fans, remember when Denny Green, when the Minnesota Vikings, I think what he was playing the Cardinals and they were smashing the Vikings, and the Vikings came back and he was like, they are who they are. They are who they thought we were, or whatever it was. But so listen, 2020 is what it is. We can't do anything about it, but what we can do is we can start to put the pieces of a puzzle together. We can see where we went wrong. We can see some of the drama that we have to eliminate. Because somebody told me a mentor told me a long time ago, either you're going to chase a dream or you're going to get caught in the drama. I don't know. You get to choose that. See, I can't choose it for you, but I'm here to shake you a little bit. I want to shake you a little bit tonight because I really do. My ultimate purpose and is to really, man, I just want you guys to win. I just want you to win. I wish you knew how much I wanted you to win. Right? We're gonna have trials. We're gonna have setbacks. We're gonna have things that knock us flat on our butt. But guys, man, you can still win. You can still win. Right?
Yes.
You want to. This might, guys. This might be how it goes all night. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I can't see. Oh, I almost accidentally brought somebody else on the Facebook camera. That's hilarious.
I wonder how that would happen since we're on
Oh,
StreamYard.
you know what's going on?
Mm.
My Facebook live feed ain't even working. Let's get to
Really? What do you mean
it's
it's
like
not working?
it's frozen. My Facebook is frozen. I don't know. Anyways,
I'm looking at it. It's working.
Is it working? Because it's frozen on mine, but I don't care because we're gonna rock anyways. So anyways,
It is frozen.
tonight we're gonna talk about and this is something that I was told years ago, right? So for those that don't know, right? Obviously, I started my coaching company, not even 6 months ago. But I've been a part of the network marketing industry for years and years, and it's probably, and to be honest with you, it probably saved my life. Because one thing that it did for me is it taught me personal development. It taught me in order to get what I want that I had to change the man that I was and the way that I saw myself. In the past that I come from, I only saw myself through the pain. I saw myself through the victim lens, right? So an old mentor told me a long time ago, he said, be willing to do the work. And he was talking about just on myself. Now, let me tell you, it took me 2 years, guys, 2 years to be able to look you in the eye, smile, and shake your hand, right? Because before that, I wanted to grab your hand and pound you right in the nose. And I know that's not nice, but that's just how broken I was. I was a broken man, right? So when he told me you need to be willing to do the work, even when you're angry, even when you don't see the results, even when things ain't going your way, you have to continue to push yourself forward to do the work necessary to get you where you want to go. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. Do you even know where you want to go? Do you know? Are you in control of the driver's seat, or are you just a bystander waiting for something to happen? You might want to jump in there because I feel like I'm going to get excited tonight because I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of meditation, and I've been doing a lot of just kind of observing, right? I'm not a stalker. I don't stalk people. I observe people, right? I want to I want to put that out there. I observe people. I observe people in the malls. I observe people at work. I observe people when I'm driving, when I pull up next to them. I observe people, right? So I think we're at a point right now where there are people who they're stuck. People are stuck, right? People are stuck. They don't even know how to get started, let alone doing the work, right? They don't know what to do in order to get what they want because A, they don't know what they want. They don't know how to get there. And some just don't know how to start, but they know where they want. So tonight we're going to try we're going to try to inspire you to get started. We're going to try to inspire you to set a standard for yourself, right? Coming for the rest, how many days do we have left? 20 days, 23 days left, something like that, 22 days left.
Well, today's the 9th,
So you guys, a lot can change in 22 days. A lot can change in 22 days. But tonight, I want you to make a decision that you're going to start in the process. Start in the process. Here, you got to take over. Talk for a minute. You're just sitting there.
I'm listening to you, but so you started off with talking about self-development and then you also talked about something that sounded to me like healing, and to me the combination of starting that's what I always talk about, that's what I always stand for, like your healing and self-development journey. And for me, those two things are not separate. Those two things go together, because I believe in order to heal, you also have to engage in personal development and personal and self-development and self-healing, and all of that is combined. It's part of the journey. Um, when we heal from the past, to me, we are reconnecting to that and moving past that. But in order to move past that, we got to step into who we are and who we're becoming and who we were meant to be, which is why self development can't be detached from healing. You can't just heal and then just show up and be like, okay, now what do I do next? So you have to sort of catch up with time, because when we're in pain and we're stuck in our past traumas and past experiences, that sort of delays our, let's call it, it delays our development. It just the same way that and I know that your daughter has the seizures and all that, but like when you're a child that has a lot of, I'm just going to give this as an example, children that have seizures, multiple seizures, it that delays your development in speech, in learning, and everything else. But that's the same thing that happens to us with trauma and things that we don't heal from. It delays our progress in our level of functioning, and as far as everything, as far as having relationships, as far as developing, having better, like, healthy skills, or eating well, or whatever it is, or figuring out who we are and all of that. So I thought you were on point with that too, as far as figuring out like who we are. I think that's the beginning. Who we are and what we want is the beginning of healing and self-development. And recognize that if you have not, like, the key thing I'm saying is, you really are not going to heal and improve your life if you don't recognize the fact that you have to heal and you have to face things of the past, but also understand that you have to play catch up with yourself, because a lot gets taken away and delayed if in that whole entire time that you decided not to heal, or the whole time that you were avoiding. So if you spent 30 years avoiding something, that's 30 years that you didn't get to learn certain things, or you didn't have certain healthy experiences, or things like that. So to me, they both go together. And be willing to do the work even when you don't see results. That's part of it too. You may not see results right away because you spend so much time not doing the work. So it's going to take some time of doing the work to see results. And sometimes the results could come, it could be that you don't see results for a year and all of a sudden they flood in. It's like the floodgates open, and you just have to keep moving forward. And a lot of people say, oh, it's taking so long and I want to give up, or this and that. But you know what? Isn't the clock ticking anyway? Isn't
Oh
time
yeah.
going? I hear so many people say, like, oh, I don't want to do this course or that course because it's going to take me 2 years to get that certification or that degree or whatever it is. But 2 years are going to roll up anyway. So why not do something that's progressing you and pushing you forward? And it's just about investing in yourself.
You said I like when, so this is pretty, man, like when you're talking, I feel myself getting fired up. So I'm gonna try to stay under control today. I don't know why I'm so, I think because we're coming to the end of the year and I'm watching people make more excuses than they've ever made. And a lot of people that I'm talking to, there's a blessings. What's going on, Courtney? There, like, people are blessed. People are still working. People are still managing. Things are still going on. Yes, we all know what's going on, but I know a lot of people who have been affected by it. But at the same time, is if we haven't, we have to have empathy for those. We have to have love and recognition for those and serve those. But we can't allow what's going on to affect us and keep us stuck, especially if we're trying to overcome traumas of the past, right? If we were, if the one thing is that's helped me tremendously, right, is through reading. I haven't been able to go to a live event in a while, and that sucks. But through YouTube, through online events, through paying, like, who for me, I guess in our industry, it's a little bit different now, is because we we get paid to spend money to better ourselves, to further our knowledge, to gain ground on what the industry is doing, right? So we go
Mhm.
out and we serve ourselves, and we don't do it for selfish gain. We do it because we want to be the best we can be. We want to never allow, I know for me, I don't want those things to creep back into my life. They still do. Believe me, they still do. That self
Mhm.
doubt, I'm not good enough, whatever it is, they still creep back in. So this is the key. If I stop, then all those things that have built up on me are going to come back. They're waiting for me. So if it took me 34 and a half years, guys, 34 and a half years of brokenness, depression, anxiety, addictions, abandonment, all those things from my past, it's not going to happen overnight. It's been a 6.5 year journey to get to where I'm at. But I remember
Yeah.
when I was told, Ray, be willing to do the work before you see the results. Am I where I want to be? Hell no. I'm a million times farther than where I used to be, because technically I shouldn't even be here. So I'm here to let you guys know is you got to stop standing on what you used to stand for. You got to stop staying around who you used to stay around, and you got to make a decision in yourself. See, we will go out to the bars, we'll go out to the clubs, our friends will call us, they'll say, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And we'll jump on it real fast. But as soon as somebody says, hey, would you like to learn? Would you like to gain? Would you like to have control of your life? We run from that and we say, that's not for me. That's not for me. How do you even know what's for you if you've never even done it? I can tell you
Yeah.
what's not for you, being broke. I can tell you what's not for you, your marriage being on the rocks. I can tell you what's not for you. You go into a job that makes you sick to your stomach and coming home at night pissed off at everybody and giving them all the heat because you couldn't give it to the people who deserve it, right?
You
That's
know
what I
what?
could tell you.
I think it has to do with like being too comfortable. Like sometimes we're so comfortable, you're so comfortable that you don't find a reason to even move. It's actually you're so comfortable that it's actually painful to move. That effort to do better, that effort to grow yourself, because growing yourself and improving yourself, it takes effort and it takes work and it also
Mm,
takes pain. It also takes pain to do that because you got to face parts of yourself, you got to build parts of yourself, and a lot of people don't want to do the effort because they're comfortable enough. And being comfortable enough and being at a good enough spot is just good enough to where you don't want to
mm,
do that stretch. And then there's the crazies, which are us. We're the crazies that are willing to do the stretch. We're willing to put ourselves in uncomfortable positions. We're willing to put in the hours and put in the time to learn and do all that stuff that is painful and could even drive other people away. Because what happens when you rise up, what happens when you start developing yourself and making yourself better, you start changing your perspective and the way that you see things, people start noticing, and people may not like it. People may not like you anymore. People may not align with you anymore. So that's a cost of getting better. That's a cost of changing your perspective, because once you change your inside, that's where the real transformation happens. The real transformation happens when you change your inside, and you don't even realize at when it happens that you started projecting yourself differently. But people on the outside notice and they don't like it. A lot of people on the outside don't like it, and you will lose people. And it might be difficult. It might, yes, it sounds amazing to say, "Oh, I'm in self-growth and development and I've done this and this and this." But the truth is that it's very, very hard, and there's a cost to it. There's a cost to it that, we sit here and talk about it, but a lot of people aren't willing to go through that. They're not willing to
absolutely.
lose the things that they need to lose. Or not. The cost could be time. The cost could be, doesn't even have to be people. The cost could be, I'm not going out every weekend. The cost could be, I'm not going to sit on the couch and binge watch something. The cost could be, I'm not going to be on the phone all the time.
I'm
There's
not
a
going to eat
cost
that
to it.
freaking burger. I'm not going to
I'm
eat
not going
that
to eat
burger.
that
I'm going to
burger.
wake up and I'm going to walk a mile before I start my day. I'm going to get into a book before I start my day. It's
Yeah,
it's
like
it's
I was telling someone about this yesterday. For the last, I would say like 2 or 3 weeks, I would say like 2 weeks, I decided that I'm going to take control over my body and my mind as soon as I wake up in the morning. And what did that mean for me? What that meant for me is I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to do yoga, or I'm going to do something physical that as much as I love working out, I don't necessarily like yoga. So yoga is an excellent thing for me to do
Yoga.
because it yoga and it challenges me because while I do yoga with this girl called Yoga by Adrian. It's really awesome on YouTube, and I could do 15 minutes of her. You guys and anyone out there that thinks yoga is like not difficult, just try it because it is super difficult and painful. And I do that yoga and I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, oh, look, counting the minutes for that thing to end. But I know that if I got through the yoga in the morning, I could get through anything in the day. It's like a mental, it's not just a physical training, it's a mental training. But why do I put myself through that as soon as I wake up in the morning? For that reason, for the reason of building resiliency, for the reason of saying I did that and I could do any. I feel even though I went through that hell, I feel so much better the rest of the day. I feel like I conquered something. Early in the morning I conquered something. So that's just a small example of that is part of my self-development is taking control over my mind. How many people could say they really have control over their mind? Because in that moment that I want to quit at 7 minutes, at 8 minutes, at 9 minutes, every time I want to quit and I don't quit, that's me controlling my mind instead of my mind controlling me. If I quit beforehand, guess what happens? That means that my mind took over and I was too weak to say no to my mind. Does that make sense? And that little
Yes.
exercise is a freaking exercise. It's an exercise. It's just as much of an exercise as going to the gym and trying to do whatever amount of for you guys trying to do whatever amount of chest, let's say. Like it's tough, but it's part of the it's part of building. It's a like a bodybuilding exercise for my brain type of thing. Hopefully that makes sense, Mr. Raymond.
I'm just trying to think. I did yoga. I did the P90X, and that yoga is like an hour and 25 minutes long. So I definitely get the yoga. But so I was thinking, right? This is what I was thinking because you said a bunch of things in there, right? But I was trying to catch some of it, and I was trying to instill it. But this is what it is for me, right? Is when we start to talk about like many people quit, they just flat out quit way before. Like they think they started, they think they're working, but they're not actually doing anything to get closer to the goal. They think, but they never act. They never do. They never open the book. They're talking about, I'll wait till tomorrow, right? See, this is the thing. When you start in the process, more people are going to quit than you ever imagine. It's Sturgeon's law. Sturgeon's law, right? The 10% that are really dedicated will actually say, you know what? I might not see the results after a year, 2 years, 3 years, but I've made a decision. I've committed myself to that decision, and I'm going to go all in, right? I've talked about that going all in process before, right? So I was thinking of this today. I was thinking of when you think of land of the free and home of the brave. That's the United States of America. Land of the free. Everybody is free. Everybody is free that comes to the United States of America, which is why they come to the United States of America. But let me ask you this. How many of you guys are brave? How many actually are brave? See, people get mad when people come to this country and become successful millionaires because they came to this country with brave because what they had to face back in their country wasn't very good. So look, you can be free, but do you have the audacity to win? Do you have the audacity to claim your stake? Do you have the audacity to say, you know what? That is who I was. You can tell me about myself, but I can assure you that's not the man or woman that I'll be next year. Look, if you get to the same place next year and you're right where you started today, man, how would that feel? How would that feel? Oh, how would that feel? That would suck.
Isn't that worse? Yeah.
Like that would suck
regret.
to me.
Pounds and pounds of regret.
But that's the thing where it says we're not willing to do the work. See, you can't tell me that you're going to establish yourself. You're going to make a commitment. You're going to put on paper exactly what you're going to do and say, you know what? I'm a free man and free woman in this country, right? But am I going to be brave? Am I going to do the work necessary, even when I don't see the results? See, Sarai reminds me all the time, look what you accomplished this year. But see, for me, I'm thinking, man, I should already be like speaking on stages across the world. I should be here. But it's the small things. But I can assure you this. I'm too damn stubborn to quit. Like, I'm way too stubborn to quit. So that
Oh, we all
I
know
took
that.
quitting off the table a long time. What?
Yeah, we all know how stubborn you are.
Nobody knows.
I know.
No. She thinks she knows me. She thinks she knows me.
Did I just
But
throw you
look,
off your talk?
no,
But you
I
know, we
hope
got to
that
be grateful. Every time I remind you of that is because I want you to be grateful to yourself and honor yourself and like praise your higher being that got you to where you're at and got you to do all those little wins throughout the year, let's say. And you have to acknowledge that person the same way you would anyone else. Like anyone else, you would say, "Hey, you know what? You did all this stuff. Okay, now what's left to do, and let's strategize to get there." So that's a positive energy to get you to a better place. um and you were saying about being brave. Bravery is needed. Why bravery is needed? Because honestly, the truth is that the path that we're talking about, the healing path, the path of self-development, is a very lonely path. It's a very lonely path. You do it on your own. You lose people along the way.
because it's
it
a
it
long journey.
requires
It's a journey.
it's a long journey, but it's also going to get you to become a different person. And what happens when you're a different person? When you're a different person, the outside is going to change. The outside is not going to remain the same. And that's almost a warning sign. Like, it's good to warn people about that because you need to be ready for that. The more ready you are for it, the better you're going to be able to handle those things instead of being shocked when the people that you love the most and are supposed to be supporting you don't support you, because it's coming. That will happen. Your friends, your spouses, your parents, your siblings, um, the people who you thought were going to be supporting you and be happy that you're improving yourself and all that are specifically the ones that probably will not be happy about it. They won't be happy that you're speaking up. They won't be happy that you don't have enough time for them. They won't be happy. You get what I'm saying? They're not going to be happy about these changes.
Well, because
So,
sometimes
you do need to be brave to do it.
yeah, what I've learned is you got to be brave because you're going to have to speak about some of the things that happened to you in that home. Because a lot of people in that home, they want to brush it under the rug. They don't want to face the fact that they screwed you up. They don't want to face the fact that they did some things to you. They don't want to face the fact that maybe they weren't the best. And then they definitely don't want to face the fact that they screwed you up so bad that you can change, because they don't want to say, "Oh, well, good for you, but I can't." No, because if one person can change, anyone can change. If I go from a broken young man to doing the things that I did to a man who tried to serve people at a high level, then anybody can change. I can assure you that. But what's I'm trying to think, right? Is the willingness. There's this thing, right? And I take it back to this, right? And I talked about this the other day, is the OPO, right? The OPO. And when I was meditating on this the other day, and I was reading John Maxwell Leadership Bible, and he was talking about the gaps, and then I started to think to myself, like what are some of the things that really breaks people? And really it's those trolls, and it's the haters, and it's the naysayers, and it's the people that we're listening to. And we get around these people, even when they're not doubting us, we get around these negative Nancy's that all they do is complain. And then that puts it's almost like a demonic presence that sits on you and starts to ask you, are you really good enough? Are you really good enough? We allow other people's opinions, the OPOs, to really sit on the shoulders of us. Well, see,
Right.
in order to be a giant, you need to sit amongst giants. The thing is in first is the willingness, right? This is what I want to say is you have to ask yourself a question. And the question I want you to ask yourself, I need some water. The question you have to ask yourself is where is my thinking right now? Where is my thinking right now? Where is my thinking right now? And then ask yourself, why is my thinking there? Look, if you're constantly complaining about somebody, if you constantly have an issue with somebody, if somebody in your house is always getting on your nerves, if somebody at work's always getting on your nerves, if somebody down the street is always getting on your nerves, if somebody driving is always getting on your nerves, you need to do some self-reflection, because the common denominator of all your problems is you. And the first thing you got to focus on is, how do I change myself? Because damn, you ain't changing nobody else. You ain't going to change nobody else. So are you willing to do the work on yourself even when people laugh at you? Are you willing to do the work on yourself even when your mom and dad think you're foolish? Are you willing to do the work when maybe your significant other doesn't want to do the work with you? Are you willing to go in on that business that has been laid at your feet and go all in even when it doesn't look the way you thought it should look? When other people are winning and you're not winning, when other people are getting results and you're not getting results, are you willing to stick with it long enough to get your win? That's the question you got to ask yourself tonight. That's why I'm so excited, because too many people quit. Sarai put it on the thing. Too many people quit right before they get their win. Right before it, they stop. Could you imagine if all the great things that we have, if these people stopped a second too soon, a minute too soon? See, I believe that flat tire that you get on the road is for a reason. You won't see it, but it's for a reason. The reason that your child acted out is for a reason. The reason your marriage didn't last is for a reason. The reason you had that financial setback, there's a reason behind it, because there's a principle. But you got to be willing to do the work and search for the reasons, search for the answers. So you know what? So not only can you learn from it, but you can teach, train, and help others learn from it too. Like I feel like my blood pressure is raising tonight.
I feel like you've been yelling at me for like 15 minutes now.
Sorry.
Just kidding. So the flip side, the other flip side of what you just said, because you were saying, I mean, you said a lot of stuff, so I was trying to grab onto the first thing you said. But the flip side of are you willing to change yourself? You were saying, are you willing to change yourself, and are you willing to do all this stuff? But the flip side of that is, you know, when we're doing a lot of changes, and if you're starting to set yourself apart from the people that you normally are with, whether that is your family of origin or your friends or whatever it is. And when you start doing that work and you start standing out, like imagine to me, it's like you start illuminating in some way. There's some light that starts like sparks inside of you and you start shining in a way. Are you willing to keep going when those people aren't supporting you? Because a lot of us wait for so much for the support. A lot of us wait so much for the support, for the approval, and for all these things. And then you let so much time go by waiting for that. Just waiting for that to happen. You might waste 1 year, 2 years. You might even waste a whole lifetime for that approval to happen. And then what happens is that your gift and what you were meant to develop and give to the world never happens. It never happens. You never end up delivering that. You never end up really like refining yourself. And ultimately, your loyalty has to be number one to yourself. Number one to yourself. And I guarantee that if you're in this type of situation, I guarantee right now that if you're in a situation where you have so much more to give and you're waiting on someone's approval or you're waiting on someone to support you, I guarantee that you're not a happy person. I guarantee that you're probably depressed. You're probably anxious. You're probably low energy. You're probably not taking care of yourself physically either, because it starts eating away at you. And those are signs. Those are physical signs that your body's giving you, letting you know that something's out of alignment. And what is out of alignment isn't necessarily you with those people. It's you with yourself. You're making a choice to be more loyal to those people than you are to yourself. And that throws you completely off. I know what that feels like firsthand. I know what that feels like. And thank God I changed. I'm just gonna say that. It's so much better on the other side. It's so much better. It's worth the work. And yes, is it painful? Do you have to face some things? Are you going to go through some difficult times? Yeah, you're going to go through some difficult times, but you have an opportunity that other people don't. Like living in this country, a lot of people live in countries that they don't have the opportunities that we have. So therefore, we take our opportunities for granted. We take our being comfortable. We take that for granted, and we think, well, we don't really have to do much. We're good enough here. Let me not, let me not disturb things. Let me not shake things up. Let me not do all that. And you end up selling yourself out. So like, how much longer are you going to keep selling yourself out with the things that like that you were saying right now, like the thoughts that the self-doubt and all that stuff that you're saying? Because if we allow their other people's lack of support, and if we allow their not supporting us and not approving of what we're doing seep into our world, then it sort of goes through like a filter and turns into our self-doubt. How long are you going to let that stop you from doing what you're meant to do and grow yourself in the way that you're meant to grow? And that's the reason why I'm doing the entire like level up challenge next week. It really is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge into what is it that you want. It's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty intense, because and it's going to be great. I was saying earlier today, think of it as a gift to yourself. And when you walk away from there, you could choose to do what you're supposed to do or not do it. But it's a gift to yourself, at least to raise your level of self-awareness. Because sometimes we don't even want to be aware. Sometimes we don't want to be aware because it's just better to not even know or not even tap into what we really want. And that way I don't have to make a decision. But that's a cop-out. That's a total cop-out and a total lack of loyalty to yourself. What do you think?
I love how you. So what do you think?
Because you're being quiet. You're just not saying anything. When you get quiet, it scares me.
Am I supposed to talk over you?
No. So thank you for respecting my voice.
Because you said
thank you for letting me talk.
Well, you said I was being quiet, but I was supposed to be like keep like responding over you? I don't know. I'm just saying you confused me on that one. So.
Well, if we were in the same room, I probably would have kicked you right now under the table or something.
Why?
You for being annoying.
So this never mind. This is a problem. This is a problem.
I'm gonna get that
problem. Anyways, so listen. This is what I asked. This is I had to ask myself, okay, where do you need to level up?
Someone put a really good post. John Taylor, he says, 332 days of sobriety from alcohol drowning my soul and mind. I almost lost all hope in life. 332 days stepping up to the plate and facing all life has with clarity ain't easy, but it's the most rewarding thing in my life. Doing the work is the only way to succeed. I couldn't have said it better.
I love John.
Exactly.
John. Mm-hmm. I've been watching. I've been following John for almost. I think I want to say back since he had 90 days, and he's been through a lot. John's been through a lot in 2022, and John demonstrates perseverance. You know what I mean? Because I can remember being in my first year, 2-3 years. You know what I mean? I mean it was. I mean, facing things in reality is a lot different than facing things in the bottle. That I can tell you for sure. But and that goes to show you is there's levels to this thing called life. There really is. There's levels to this thing, right? So I had to ask myself recently, how am I going to level up? How am I going to serve people? All right. Listen, just because you're not where you want to be doesn't mean you're the only one that takes criticism. The more you try to do for people, the more you try to accomplish, the more critics come out. But see, there's an old saying that says, I never seen a statue formed of a critic, but I have seen statues formed of people who had critics. So don't be afraid to have critics. Critics are those trolls and those haters that have never had the guts and the audacity to step outside on their own. See, there's a thing that I want you guys to realize, right? And this is like, I get excited about this because you can win. You can flat out win if you take all the excuses off the table. If you make a decision right now in your life that, you know what, I don't care what they say about me. I deserve it because I've been through hell and back. And now I'm going to go out and I'm going to get what I deserve. I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to never quit. I'm willing to put it all on the table. And if I got to leave every single freaking person behind me and build a new circle, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. The key is this. Most people are afraid to sit alone. They're afraid to sit alone. But when you get by yourself, that's when God's going to come into your life. When you sit by yourself, that's when God's going to put the right people in front of you. And when you get alone by yourself, you get to start to ask yourself the real questions. Who am I? What do I want? What are my dreams? What am I willing to do to go get it? See, how are you going to get maximum output? See, we are designed to work. We are designed to work, guys. We are designed to work. Our bodies are designed to be used. We are designed to exhaust energy. We are machines. If all you do is go home to work, oh, life sucks, work sucks. How am I going to do this? Let me drink a 40 ounce here, take a couple shots here, roll a doobie there, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. If that's all you want to do, that's all you're going to get. But when you make a decision, when you say, you know what, I'm willing to do what's necessary, how can I get maximum output on my efforts? And the one thing I can say is you just do it. You just do it. You just flat out do it. So I had to think this, right? So I joined a company, right? Why did I join the company? Because it gives me the things that my body needs, that my mind needs, and that my energy can match, right? So I take a brain focus thing that helps me get my mind going. So when I start to bog down during the day, I take this thing and it uplifts me. It gets me rolling, right? I take stuff for my body. I eat good, right? Well, not all the time. I take that back. Some, it was my birthday over the weekend and I didn't eat so good. But you know what? So, but I just want you guys to understand, right? If you're not where you want to be financially, do you even know where you want to be financially? If you're not where you want to be in your relationships, do you even know what you want your relationships to look like? If you are not where you want to be, are you looking and studying the people who got the results that you want? That's what you got to look at. That's what you have to recognize. There are people who have the life that you could live if you followed the path that they laid out before you. But because you don't want to look silly or you don't want to look different, or maybe your friends think that person you're following is weird, so you decide to stay stuck and dumb and broke where you're at. I'm excited tonight. My apologies.
I see that.
Because my ultimate goal is I'm really trying to get people to know the importance. You got to know the importance, guys. You got to know the importance of living a life that only you can live.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sacrifice that you're going to have to take. Maybe those Twinkies ain't good for you. Maybe that job that you think you went to school for 4, 5, 6 years isn't right for you. Maybe that relationship that you've been hanging on to, knowing that it hasn't made you and fulfilled you and made you the best you can be, isn't right for you. Maybe the way you've raised your children up to this point, knowing deep inside, but it's easier to give them what they want. Maybe. What is it? Because each day gets you closer to the end of your life, not the beginning of your life, guys. So you have to make a decision. Start. And then once you start, are you willing to do it even when there's poo-poo all around you?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is this. How can you go out every day and be productive in your life? How can you add productivity to your life? What are you doing? I told you a long time ago, my mentor asked me how long experience I had in a particular trade. And I said 14 years. He says, have you learned anything new? I said, no, I just do mechanical work. He says, so you're telling me you got 1 year experience, 14 years in a row. And I couldn't understand that. He says, if you ain't learned nothing new, then you ain't got no experience. You got the
Right.
same thing over and over and over and over again. And that's why you get what you want. I was talking to somebody the other day, right? And this is a conversation we have a lot, right? If you add, think about this. If every day you wake up and you start your day different, right? Think about that. Excuse me. Think about this. Every day you wake up a little bit earlier and you implement something into your life. Every day.
Mm-hmm.
That means at the end of the year, you would have implemented 365 positive things to your life. Think about that. That could change your life. And the next year for you could be in a totally different place. Smile on your face. You wouldn't be in disgrace.
Yeah, it stacks up. It stacks up. All that new stuff stacks up. Every little bit of it stacks up. I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole yoga thing again, but that's the whole yoga thing that I'm talking about. Like every morning being able to do that makes me mentally stronger every single morning than to just do what I normally do. I mean, you guys should try it. You should try it. You should try it, Raymond. Really, really is awesome.
I've done yoga. I've done yoga.
No, I mean, first thing in the morning, do what you don't want to do. The more you practice doing what you don't want to do, the less fearful you are of doing the things that you need to do, but you're afraid to do, or you push it, procrastination. We're all guilty. I mean, the majority of the people live off procrastination. Why does procrastination exist? Because we don't exercise the muscle of doing the things that make us uncomfortable, of doing the things that we don't really want to do. But the more if you were,
I don't necessarily
you talked over me.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say I don't necessarily believe all that, because the counter, and I believe what you're saying. But if you look at the other side, every day people are doing what they don't want to do. They're in relationships. They're going to jobs. They're doing things
There's
they
a
don't want
difference.
to do already.
Yeah, but there's a difference. The difference is doing what you don't want to do that you know is beneficial for you, and you're doing it by choice. So, for example, every day people are doing what they don't want to do because they are stuck in
Everything's a
their
choice. Going to a job you
no,
hate is a choice.
no,
Going
not
to a
really.
job
Look,
you hate. Being in a
let me
relationship
give
you
you
don't want to be in is a choice.
but it's a comfortable choice. That's a comfortable
But it's
choice,
still
believe
a
it or
choice.
not.
You can't. A
But
choice is a choice.
we're gonna fight right now. So what about the person who is 100 pounds overweight, 50 pounds overweight, and needs to start working out and needs to start eating better? And why do they not change? It's because they're not doing the uncomfortable thing. So
They've
people
made a
don't do the
choice.
right. They're not doing the right uncomfortable things. They're doing the wrong uncomfortable things. But they're not doing. You get what I'm saying? They're not doing the right uncomfortable things. So you have to do the right uncomfortable things, the thing that stretches you, the thing that's challenging, but you know you have to do it. That's very different from remaining in a bad relationship. But the only people reason stay in bad relationships, let's call it, it's because there's some need being met in that relationship. I don't care how bad the relationship is. You could even be in a domestic violence relationship, but you're still deciding there. There's a need that's being met in that relationship that keeps you there. So even though it's an uncomfortable situation from the outside looking in, you're like, why does that person stay there? There's a reason why they're still there. The uncomfortableness in that situation will be getting out of the relationship. You understand? Being in it isn't uncomfortable. Getting out of it is, because it's
Still a
stretching
choice.
you. All right, I'll give you that one. It's still a choice. You still have a choice every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you understand what I'm talking about?
I know what you're
Come
saying.
on, brother. Let's try yoga.
Who said that?
John says, let's try yoga.
I'm down to give it. I'm down. I just our gym just started opening back up at 5 a.m. So it looks like it's weird, right? Everything's shutting down.
Does John live where you live?
No, John's in Florida, I believe. John is in Florida.
Oh, so am I, John. Anyway, so what do you want to talk about now?
I've been excited tonight. Should I calm down? Should I quiet down? Should I?
No, you're doing good.
So I just want to encourage people, right? when we start to look at be willing to do the work, right, before you see the results. So, as you guys know, I have John's in Foyt.
It's
He's
not
in
Foyt,
Fort
it's
Myers.
Fort Myers, home of the
Yes.
most beautiful sunset.
Well, there's some pretty good sunsets, and my eyeballs are closed too. Because you can dream of the most phenomenal things when you close your eyes and visualize. Um, Great. I forgot what I was gonna say. Tick tock, tick tock, tick. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No, that wasn't it. There was something there. There was something. Oh, be willing to do the work. Okay. So as we are building this team, as I'm building the team, okay,
Yeah.
and what is leadership? Leadership means I'm going to serve those in my business. I'm going to serve those on my team. I'm going to find out what they want so I can help them and build them the resources to get them to where they want to go. See, there's an old thing. What's going on, Brother William? There's an old thing that says if you help enough people get what they want, in return, you'll get what you want, right? And that's not a selfish thing, right? That is a thing where you truly got to be willing to dedicate yourself, your time, your resources, your energy, and your heart so you can help other people. But once you start to help other people, you got to be able to give them the tools and the resources they need to win. And then you got to start to build them in that perseverance muscle, because you have to be willing to persevere. So once I build that muscle in you, then you're going to understand that the willingness to do the work, even when things ain't going my way, it's because I've locked on a vision that no, if I continue to do what somebody told me to do because they got the results that I want, not Tom, Joe, and Harry from down the road, but because the person that's helping me has the results that I want.
Hmm.
I know over time that I can too. But just because it doesn't happen on your time doesn't mean it's not gonna. That's the thing. Because it doesn't happen your way, because it doesn't happen on your timing, are you still willing to stick with the game plan? Are you still willing to stand on a solid foundation? Are you still willing to do the necessary things and to get uncomfortable, to look foolish around those people who think you look foolish? Are you willing to do what it takes? So then one day you'll wake up and everything looks different. Everything looks different. The people you run with look different. See, somebody asked me this one time, right? Because I serve everybody. I serve people who are struggling in addiction. I serve people who don't believe in God. I serve people who do believe in God. I serve people. I serve people. I serve people. This is the thing. I run with eagles, though. I run with eagles, and I will serve people and try to bring them into the eagle flock, right?
I feel like
That's what I
flapping my
want to
wings
do.
right now. I almost felt like
But that's what I mean. That's really what I want to do. Is I
but
want to be the eagle.
Stacy says it has to be important enough, i.e., hungry enough. Exactly. Like, and that really translates into you have to have a strong enough why. Like, you need to know why you're doing that. Carrot has to be dangling in front of you for you to remember to keep going, even when you don't want to, even when you're not seeing the results. And then you were saying something so important right now. Um,
That's there's three words that I think in the process of really the work that takes place is you have to have persistence. You have to, I mean, I could go on a really, really rampage about persistence, but the next thing is hunger. You're right. You got to have hunger. What separates the highly success from those that ain't successful? It's a hunger. It's the burning desire, and then the character to back it up. Look, just because you suck right now doesn't mean you're going to suck in a year. Become the person you want to be in a year from today, and start today to be that person. It ain't going to be
you
pretty
know,
all the time.
but and also the hunger comes from knowing yourself. And that's what we were talking about at the beginning of this is since I'm a trauma therapist and everything, I'm going to tell you a lot of people lose connection. The number one thing you lose in any kind of childhood trauma, especially when it's complex and you have multiple traumas, the number one thing you lose is your connection to yourself. And then you grow up into an adult that doesn't know what you want or why you want it. And I feel like a lot of people don't go after the things that they should be going after is because number one, they don't know what they want, but number two, they don't even know why they want it because that's how disconnected they are from themselves. They could say what you want and why you want it, but they invest more time in figuring out what other people want and why they want it and not enough on themselves. And it's like an aimless life. It's a life of just really reacting to what's happening in the day instead of being intentional and being driven and every day moving closer and closer to your own dreams and goals. Trauma is a real killer of dreams. It's a real killer of ambition, of striving, and all of those things. And even if you're someone who has survived trauma, even if you're someone who has a pretty comfortable life and you had traumatic experience, but you're comfortable, I guarantee that there's so much a higher level for you. I guarantee that there's a better place for you if you just got to know yourself a little better. If you just took the time to ask some questions and really just take the time to meditate on what do I really want? Because you don't want to find that out when you're like on your deathbed. You don't want to
Yeah.
find that out when you got diagnosed with cancer. And there's people who figure it out when they got diagnosed with cancer. Sometimes it takes cancer. Sometimes it takes a heart attack, a major, and I'm going to say health issues. It takes a major health issue to go, oh man, like I should have done this and that, like, and then to realize though it's in the moments of, it's in life-threatening moments, bless you. It's on life-threatening moments that you realize your time is limited. And it's not necessarily about the illness, it's about the realization of our time is limited. What did I do with my time? But you could get leverage on yourself right now and ask yourself right now, what did you do with your time? What did you do with your time this year? What did you do with the last 10 years? And do you want to repeat that for the next year and the next 5 years and the next 10 years? Because I guarantee if you keep doing what you've done, you're going to get the same results or worse, because you're not going to have the same energy that you even had in the last few years. Why not become more deliberate? Why not become more intentional and clear on what you want, why you want it, set a plan, and do the daily thing that you need to do to get yourself closer and stack it up one on top of the other. Like it's like I really put it a lot with working out. Like, the first day you go work out, it's hard, it's hard and you might faint and you might feel like vomiting and you might that's what happens to me. You might feel like all of that you'll be in pain for a week and all of that. Yes. But you know what? It's gonna come a moment where you're gonna be waking up wanting it. You're gonna be waking up wanting it. You're gonna be waking up wanting that thing because your body is already desiring it and you already started the momentum. It's the same thing. Like, start the momentum in your life. Make it okay for you to chase your dreams. That is the most loyal thing you could do for yourself. And it's the greatest thing you could even do for the people around you. You're going to show up as the best version of you. That's why I'm so passionate about making you get closer to who you truly are.
You got to be, you definitely have to make a point, because I know what you're saying, but for me, like working out, in certain things, I really don't want to do it. I really don't. I love the results. I like the results. I really don't want to do it. I would rather not do it. There's certain
right. That's
things.
What I was talking about earlier. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, but that's the pressure. We have to put ourselves under the pressure. We have to be willing to do the work.
Oh, that's what I said.
Listen, Linda, listen. I just.
Where's Linda?
Who's that behind you? That's possibility or something. Anyways, so this is the thing.
Be happy, big dreams. Let it, enjoy every moment. Let it be. Enjoy your journey. Wake up and be awesome. Travel often. Be the best yet to come. Shine bright. I have to get out of my own way to move forward. Definitely. We're the main people. We're always the ones in our way.
I have to. In our way. Sometimes I just want to kick my own freaking face.
And sometimes I just want to kick his face. Wait, his face. He doesn't want to just kick his face. I want to kick his face. Or throw the phone. Like, look, imagine if I go.
So since we're getting ready to wrap this up, we don't want to hold. I appreciate you guys for being with us, and I hope you got some good nuggets. I know I kind of got excited tonight because, listen, I really want you to understand this. You know, my mission statement is to leave an eternal legacy that lives on through your works. Right? I want to plant a seed of greatness in you. I want to plant a seed of love in you. I want to plant a seed of leadership in you because you are a leader. You are worthy to live a life that you never thought imaginable. God created you in his image. God gave you the breath in your lungs. Yes, we went through some setbacks. Yes, we went through some losses in life. Yes, we did some stupid things and some horrible things happened to us. But we're here right now for a reason. Everything that we've been through and everything that we've done was bring us right to this point, right here, right now. And what I want to do is I want to awaken that greatness in you. I want to awaken that giant in you. I want to awaken, look, I want to awaken that voice of your hidden gems, of your hidden, those things that have been hidden inside of you so long. Look, this is what I want you to understand, right? Is I do what I do to serve you. I do what I do to pursue my God-given gift. I do what I do to do the dream and the goal that God put in front of me. And God told me the only way to get where you want to go is to serve my people at a higher level, right? So in order for me to serve you, I have to let you know how great you are. Then that means I got to go do twice the work that you do so I can bring it back and serve you at a higher level. That's what God has blessed me with. That's what God has given me. I want you to know that you are so stinking awesome. You're so worthy. I want you to for the final time, don't question yourself anymore. Put your stake in the ground and say, this day forward, I'm going to get exactly what I want, and then go freaking get it, baby.
And with that, that was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, guys, put your stinking freaking stake in the ground and go get it. Go get it. And join the Level Up Challenge.
Yes,
Go to my
go
page
get it.
and join the Level Up Challenge next week,
Just can't you
starting
just put
Monday,
it? Well, I was gonna say, can't you put it in the chat?
7:30 to 9. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I guess I could. Um, join us. This is exactly what we're going to be doing next week. And the Level Up Challenge is challenging you to become your greatness. You guys are awesome. Thank you, William. Challenging you, and
Thank you,
it's not
William.
just challenge you.
Thank
I'm
you,
not going to
Susie.
just be
Thank you,
yapping
John.
and yapping. We're going to be doing exercises for you to figure it out. During that week, you're going to be doing a lot of work to figure things out for yourself because I can't figure it out for you. So you got to figure it out for yourself. But I'm going to give you the exercises, the tools, and the ideas and the keys for you to walk out knowing who you are, what you want, how you're going to get it, and all those awesome things.
You know, I want to leave you with this one last thing. Is for me, I've looked foolish for so long. I looked foolish doing the wrong things 80% of my life, 85% of my life up to this point. And then I made a decision to turn my life around. I made a decision that I was going to be different, right? See, when I used to go out to the party, people would be like, "Whoa, high fiving you, man, Ray, you're cool, man. You fought that big guy, Ray. You did this, wow." And then as soon as I said, "You know what? I'm going to join this business and I'm going to start to develop myself," they were like, "Oh, you're an idiot. Why would you do that? Why would you waste your time doing that?" See, when we take OPO, other people's opinions, man, it can really sink us. So I just, man, it's just, it's mind boggling, right? I've been in this thing 6.5 years now, right? Not a lot has gone my way, but I'm willing to go out and look foolish to learn the tactics, to learn the skills so that I can help you so you don't have to look as foolish as I did. But you still have to be willing. You still have to be willing to do what I'm saying or input. You don't have to do everything I say, but what you do is you take what Ray says. You got to have mentors and coaches, right? You got to have people who are willing to walk the front lines for you, to take the freaking arrows until you're strong enough to take it yourself. I love you guys. We're going to get out of here. I do have a mentee that's coming soon. So with that, man, thank you, William. I hope you guys got something tonight. I hope you guys can take it with you and you can run with it. And you don't have to be as excited as I am. You don't have to be as knowledgeable as Sarai is. You be who you are. And that's what is going to attract people. People are going to be attracted to who you are, right? But know who you
Mhm.
are. Find out what you need to do, and then just go flat out win. Anyways, I'm done. I digress. We're out of here. Love you guys. Have an absolutely blessed night, and we will catch you next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock.